Hello and welcome to this informal tip video on the Bosch professional glide saw. It's a 12-inch gliding miter saw with the patented axial glide mechanism on the back. What we're going to show you in this short video is just how to check the alignment of the blade at 0 bevel. So what we've done with this particular machine is deliberately misadjusted it. We've got a square resting on the aluminium base. It's very important to have the square on the aluminium and not resting on the plastic here, which could cause an error in the measurement. And you can see as we go up there, there's a massive gap there between the blade and the back of the gauge there, the back of the square. So we're going to correct this. There is a procedure outlined in the manual which is fairly straightforward. The first thing you have to do is to release the front locking lever here. Of course, if you've got that locked down, we have this forward locking lever. That needs to be released, and then as per the instructions, we go around the back of the machine and we have a couple of locking bolts. They're a 10mm bolt. They're numbered, I think 68. Yeah, so there's two of them there. So just use a socket or a drill driver there on it to loosen those off, okay? And then the next thing we need to do before any adjustment can be made is to loosen off a grub screw. I think it's a 4mm Allen screw. We marked on the machine here number 70 because that correlates with what's in the manual. So we loosen off number 70 by 3 turns, and then we're ready to go. Now it's very important to note that the top screw, number 69, that's the one that the head of the saw is resting on. That's, if you like, your reference screw. So when you tighten that, it will correct the error we've put on this saw in the correct direction. So it will actually move the head of the saw to your right, or sorry, to your left, as you can see it as we're viewing it in the movie. So tightening that top screw there will actually bring the head upright, and hopefully it will get the saw perfectly at 0 so that it's touching the gauge, the square, firmly. So we've got a nice flush fit there. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It's also important to notice that the gauge there, the square, is kissing the core of the blade, and make sure that you've got that between teeth at the bottom there. Don't have it resting on a tooth. Make sure you're going into a gap between the teeth, otherwise again your adjustment, your reading might be affected. The other thing, of course, is that because that's a set screw, because that's a stop effectively on the back, that top Allen screw, you do need to physically push the head of the saw over to your left as you're looking at it, and then bring it back again firmly onto the stop and double check that the alignment is still correct. Also, if the error is to the left as we look at it in the video and you need to correct it to the right, it's very important to note that that top screw will not move the head to your right. Okay, it'll create space for that movement, but you do need to push the head of the machine in the direction of that stop. So I'm hoping that's not too confusing to see. As you can see now, we've got a nice flush fit there between the square and the blade, and so we can now lock this down. So I think it's front locking lever down, okay, to stabilize the whole thing, and then we just basically reverse what we did to start with. So we tighten number 70 at the bottom there, okay, so that's the lower grub screw, the Allen screw, okay, just tighten that up, not too much. And then finally, to make it all stable, we re-tighten the M10 bolts, and that should do it. But please remember, that top screw only moves the head to the left. If you want to make a correction to the right, if that's where your error is, then you do need to loosen that top screw and push physically on the side of the machine the head against the stop. So I hope you find that useful. It's a very, as I say, informal movie, but it's a fairly straightforward procedure. Thanks for watching.